Hey, all, it's Friday, and you know what that means? It's blind day, but as you can tell by what's on the bar top, it might look a little odd to you today. Does it look a little odd to you, Trenton?
Yeah.
We got a little bit of a surprise for Trenton today. Cinco de Mayo is Sunday, right, babe? Sunday it is?
Correct.
Sunday. Sean, a good friend of ours, Sean, messaged me and had this suggestion a month or so ago. Why don't you guys do a tequila blind for Cinco de Mayo? And I thought,
Great idea.
fantastic idea. So what I did for you,
Oh, this is all for me, okay?
the poor guy, I don't believe you're a huge tequila fan. Is that accurate to say?
I know next to nothing about tequila. I know that there's like a Blanco, a Reposado, and an Añejo, and an extra and an Añejo, and like a couple other things. I've seen a lot of the, what do they call it? The Clase Azules go for high dollars and stuff. I know that those have additives. Past that, I don't know anything about tequila. I know I don't like Jose Cuervo Gold. Past that,
Well, there you go. It's probably,
very little.
Probably a good thing.
Yeah, we're not tasting that today, are we?
No, we are absolutely not tasting that today. Now, my question, though, is do you like tequila? Let me just say, do you not prefer, but at times, do you have a tequila cocktail even?
I like a tequila cocktail and I like a mezcal cocktail, but
That's
what
right, I forgot about
what I won't do as of right now is just pour some tequila and sip it. I'm not at that point.
Okay.
I don't know that I don't have anything against tequila. It's just not something that I'm particularly interested in or reach for. I mean, this is exciting because there's okay.
Yeah.
Are these any good? What we're trying today?
Well, what I have for you today, Trenton, is I try to think, should I get a Blanco? Should I get the Reposado, the Añejo, whatever?
Yeah.
And I thought because of your bourbon tasting buds, I would choose something with a little bit of barrel aging to it. So I chose Reposado tequilas. So everything that's in this blind, and we don't really know exactly what's in this blind, of course, because my beautiful wife, the one that just coughed over there, it's kind of going around. It hasn't gotten to me, thank God. I'm glad you're feeling a little bit better. Our grandson Brixton, he was coughing pretty good this morning, wasn't he? So, but at any rate, it's kind of going around just a little bit, but we'll be fine. But I thought a little bit of barrel aging might be better for you and your palate, being the bourbon drinker. So I chose Reposado tequilas.
And that's like middle of the road, right?
Yeah, I think it's somewhere between 2 and 12 months aging in the barrel.
Okay.
So it's a betweener. It lends a little bit of the barrel notes to it, possibly some light vanilla caramels.
Are they used barrels? Is there like a specific classification? Is it a used? Is it new? Am I stumping you?
Oh yeah, because I don't know, and please let us know in the comments. As I spoke to you, I am on the cusp of learning more about tequilas. I have searched a little bit out with this additive-free, good quality tequilas, and that's what we will be tasting today. We won't be tasting, any of the tequilas that are out there that has a ton of different additives and flavorings in it.
Cool.
But I do apologize to the folks out there. For those of you who are tequila, a little bit more into the tequila, if you can let us know if they are used barrels. I don't know. I do know I have an Areta back there that's a really nice one we got in Arizona last year that was specifically aged in ex-bourbon barrels. So I do know, but it states it on the label. So with this, I don't know. All right, well, that's enough of that, Trent. Let's get into this thing here. Let's get started with A. All I know is I've got some really good tequilas that you should be tasting, and you should love them all.
So these are considered good tequilas?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I needed to know?
Yes, they are. One thing I did do too is the bottles that I chose have a little bit of a variety in pricing.
Okay.
So it's going to be interesting to see where that lands.
Are tequilas like cask strength, or do they stay in a certain like an 80 to 90 kind of range?
Yeah, you can get them in. I apologize. You can get them in a little bit of a higher strength. I think they're called still strength or something like that.
Okay.
But you can. I do have a couple back there that are higher proofs. Actually, this one right here for mixing, I have Trenton. I don't have the glasses on, but that one's
Okay, 110. Yeah.
So they do have it. These are not.
But I'm going to be coming out of left field here for most of these because I really have never smelled a tequila.
Sure.
And been like, I don't know what to expect with these. With bourbon, at this point we've smelled enough. We've been doing this long enough with bourbon. I have a little bit of an idea what to look for.
I understand.
But with this, and just like bourbon, I know what corn smells like. I know what these grains taste like. I don't know what agave smells like.
Yeah, That's what I'm getting here. I'm getting a little bit of minerality, some cooked agave, a little bit of butter note there, a little buttery note. I'm at the beginning stages too, Trent. I have never, not even once, I've sipped a few tequilas, some of my nicer tequilas, especially with friends that come down that really enjoy it. Kent, we've done that too, but I've never done a blind, so this is brand new for me.
It smells like
great idea,
cardamom or like some kind of ground peppercorn or something.
Sure.
I could get a butteriness to it. Yeah. But still, like, it's kind of it. I'm not getting a whole lot of other stuff.
Hey, nothing wrong with
it. It doesn't smell sweet. It smells like I'm about to be kind of sad when I drink it.
It smells a tiny bit sweet to me, but...
Does it?
A little bit.
It almost smells salty. Like a saline solution.
Briny.
Yeah, briny.
Maybe a tiny bit briny? Yeah. That's good. Good on you.
Yeah, I still get some of the peppery. It honestly tastes like if you took peppercorns and put them in the mortar and the pestle, and you ground it up a little bit. Yeah. And then you tasted some of that. It's very like fresh, herbally spice type of a thing.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a little herbally. I still get that really nice sweet agave taste in there. It's a little bit peppery for sure. I'm going to grant you that too as well. A little pepper.
I know our good friend Jesus H. I'm going to stop saying last names. He's on our Discord, and he met you at Trevor's too a couple times, I believe. Very knowledgeable on tequila, so I'm going to be keeping an eye out for his comments too, because he is like, he's a know-it-all when it comes to tequila. He's very
and that's what we need.
Yeah,
we do need that. We need all the help we can get to educate ourselves even further in the tequila world, because I really enjoy it. I really do.
I get a vague like oranginess. Like an orange creamsicle type of a thing.
Now some tequilas too, Trent, are a bit citrusy. Kind of like a gin can be a little citrusy. Okay. You know, I've watched others who are actually more professional in this category do tastings, and I have noticed that they have stated that.
Is this dry or am I got like a...
I don't know.
I haven't had a ton of water today either, to be fair, but...
I can say that this... I'm hoping is one of the lesser expensive bottles. Okay. Let's just put it that way. I do like it. I really don't have a lot wrong with it, but I can't say, wow, I love it. So how about that?
Now, I didn't have a sinus surgery, but I am still getting over a little bit of a sick, as you might be able to tell from my voice is a little raspy still, so I can't smell 100%.
Yep.
But this one is a lot different from what I can tell. It's still got those underlying spiciness and things to it, but there's something else that I'm trying.
I love that, actually. There's a caramel note in there, Trent, a real light caramel note.
I do. I can see it like diet caramel cube or something. Yeah, I get
even
that.
A possible light butterscotch note in there too, honestly.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't expect any of that for any of these.
Really. I mean, it's on the lighter side. It's not like I would, get your typical bourbon where you have a really beautiful, rich butterscotch note. It's not that. It's more on the lighter tones. You get that agave base. You're obviously going to get that.
I mean, I guess from the color, it kind of makes a little sense because this is on par in the darkness with D.
You're right. And
so maybe it's aged a little longer, so it's bringing out some of those characteristics.
Maybe
from the barrel.
And I don't want to step out of bounds here, but maybe the bottles that I have in here that are a little bit on the lesser side of the scale are aged a little bit less than the other ones.
That should be like our slogan. We always I step outside the bounds. I don't know about you, but it's more like deep in it. But it's still got this like
it's really good,
spicy. I almost said pickliness, some pepperiness to it.
Sure.
I do get a little bit of like a zest, an orange zest maybe. Mm-hmm. I don't get much of the caramel on the palate though. I will say that.
Try another one. I liked it though. In my opinion, it was a step above A.
I will agree with you on that front. Man, this is a really weird profile. Like I think with just tequilas in general, I'm not used to it.
I really love the minerality that's going on in there. Wow, it is so good. The agave notes are so good. I have to agree with Trenton. I didn't get a lot of the caramel and or butterscotch note that I was getting off the aromas. But I find it to be extremely well balanced, a lot richer tasting notes than on A.
Yeah, different.
I like it.
Hoo-hoo. I'm on to C now. C is almost just like vodka looking.
It seems clear.
I get quite a lot more ethanol on this one.
Do you?
I will say.
Okay.
I'll say that much. Compared to the other two.
This to me is a little more grassy, too. And tequilas can be a little bit grassy. Especially if I'm Pasote. That's not in our tasting today, but there's a Pasote Blanco that I absolutely love. And Tim, if you're watching, no, Tim already knows. He knows my secret there. I just pour a little bit of that Pasote right over an ice cube with some celery bitters, and it is dynamite. Really goes well.
This tastes like you lick the side of a barn. It's got a old wood.
Yeah.
Like a rotted old wood type of a thing.
Not in
a bad way, but
and I can see where he's coming from. This is more earthy, right?
Yeah.
I think it's more earthy.
It kind of smells like
a little
dirt.
Grassy.
It smells like
Could
dirt.
be a little dirty.
Yep.
Sure.
Filthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say that's my least favorite so far.
That's pretty strong in the minerality department.
Very.
It's got a little bit of an aftertaste to it too, that I didn't get from the first two. Almost like a tiny bit of an off-putting aftertaste to it.
I was gonna say, in my opinion, it's not very pleasant on the finish.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit bitter. I don't want to say tannic. I don't think that's the right word, but it's almost got a Sharpie marker taste at the end. That just it's dry, it's bitter. Yeah. It tastes like a marker type towards the end.
You're kind of halfway to that Sharpie note there with that. I agree.
More
with
of an
that
Expo instead of a Sharpie. Yeah.
Well, that's. Well, you know your markers, so I'll have to lean.
I do. I definitely do. That is, I will say, the lightest out of the two.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move on to D. See what we have over here.
Kind of smells like a confetti cake. Like the Betty Crocker cake mix, the confetti version.
Well, that is nice and sweet.
It's very sweet. I do have a tequila that I really like, and it is the Clase Azul. It's the Blanco, I think, but there are additives in it.
You're going to be ripped to shreds.
I know, but it tastes like birthday cake. I do like that one, but there's additives in it. I get that. So if from a purist perspective,
right.
That's not maybe that's not a tequila, but I kind of went out on a limb and bought it 4 years ago.
I understand where you're coming from, because before I even was educated in the slightest bit, I thought Clase Azul was like, dynamite. I really did. It was super good. And then I found out through the help of a lot of you good folks there when we did our first tequila show that there is a ton of additives in there to help promote those kind of tasting flavors. So it's almost like a scientific way to fake, what you're tasting.
I think I need to sit down with more of the. I'd be interested to try a Blanco versus a Reposado versus an Añejo versus an extra Añejo. Just kind of see if I can pinpoint the differences, because coming from a person who has a little bit more not a little bit, has quite a bit more experience in a bourbon, brown spirits type of a realm, maybe minus the rum.
Yeah.
This is like there are a lot of similarities, and I'm, as a novice, having a hard time picking out definitive characteristics, and like I can tell that I like one more than the other, but why?
That's okay.
I just get like a peppery patchouli almost kind of a thing on pretty much all these.
Hey, Trent, we're just trying this stuff. I've never done a blind either, so this
you haven't?
No, not a tequila blind. Okay. No, this is extremely interesting for me. I'm positive I've sipped a few more tequilas than you have.
Oh,
for sure.
I'm sure.
But I've never done a blind, so I'm loving this. I'm learning as well. We both are.
Well, do you wanna see? We have some bourbon samples below here, and after trying this, I just want to dive right into some of these samples. Do you want to go first? You want me to go first? What are you thinking?
Well, I think we're in unison, Trenton, that C is our first one out. I'm speaking for you, but that would be my first one out.
C, yeah, that's mine. And I mean, my scale is definitely relative to my taste. I had this at a 1 out of 5.
Did you?
I did. I honestly didn't care for it really at all.
I didn't. I'm picking it apart a little bit because that's what you do in a blind.
Yeah.
But I didn't think it was a 1 out of 5. Considering the tasting that we're doing right now, on a score of 1 to 5, I would probably give it a 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, we agreed on that one. I don't know. Are we going to agree on the third? I had A is my third place.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Yeah, me too. I thought it was good though. but it didn't stand up to B and D. And both of these are fantastic. And for me, Trenton, it's just a matter of taste at the moment. I'm going to give it one more try.
I'll go back just so it's kind of a fair matchup instead of me going over first. I'd be interested to know, for the folks that are really into tequila, do these open up like a bourbon does over time? Do you let it sit in a glass? Does it help to kind of get some little bit more oxygen in there? Is neck pour a thing with tequila? Like, there's a lot of questions that I have that may or may not translate from bourbon and rye to what are we drinking? Tequila.
Yep. My theme has always been there is no stupid questions. Those are good questions for somebody that hasn't really done a lot of tequila drinking.
Oh, dude. No such thing as stupid questions. You should hear some of the ones I have at work. It could be a thing where I know, like, if you don't like corn, you might not like bourbon.
No.
It just seems like it might make a little bit of sense. Maybe there are some people that just don't like agave.
Yeah.
I don't.
Sure.
I'm not going to preemptively say without diving a little bit deeper that I'm one of those people. But there's something about it as of right now. Maybe this is like my next single malt.
Yep.
I'm getting into single malts. I'm not a big tequila fan. Maybe in a little bit I'll become more of a tequila fan, less of a vodka. I don't know.
Again, with your bourbon type palate, you may really dig some of the extra añejos I have back there. Some of those different releases that we have. So for this particular blind, I want to get somewhat standard.
I'm glad I went back and tasted because I did flip-flop mine just now.
You did? Okay, well, I'll go first then if you flip-flopped up. For me, I love both of these that are remaining on the bar top. I really did. I am going to push out. For me, second place is going to be D for me, honey. And the main reason for me is B, I can really pick up a beautiful light caramel note in there too. There's just, it's silky smooth. The texture is wonderful on B. And those everything is so well balanced. A little bit of agave notes in there too. It's just buttery. It's lovely. B is my first place.
We're gonna differ there. That was my initial.
It's all right. Yeah.
So
good.
B is my second.
Okay.
And D is my first place. And I will say the only reason I did that is because D to me has a little bit more of a smoothie kind of an after palate, and B I get a little bit more of the spiciness on the back end.
Okay.
Which for me, I don't know that I necessarily like in tequila. Yeah. But I mean, that's just a characteristic of it altogether.
That's extremely interesting. So I'm very curious how this is going to come out because I kind of know what I pulled. But all right, babe, let us know. What are we looking at then for our first out, which would have been what, C?
Fourth place was C.
Yeah.
And you're going to make me try to say these things?
Is it the one that starts with an S and an L?
Siete Leguas.
Yeah. I kind of figured that's a good one, honey. You know a little bit of Spanish. Now, come on, you do. Yeah, Siete Leguas was in our last place, and I use this. You can see I use this primarily for mixing here at the bar. This is a good quality tequila. But as a sipper, sipping it neat, it seemed to be just a tiny bit bitter on the back end, and there was just a few things going on there that weren't as good as the other tequilas we had on the bar top for me.
Yeah, this was my 1 out of 5 with this
I wouldn't have
little knob.
I wouldn't have done that. All right,
sorry,
do the best you can. Do the best you can with the next one. Trent and I are the same with the next one as well.
Which is A.
Okay.
Tequila Arete.
Arete? All right. All right, now.
Did you Google these, or are you just taking a stab at the
I'm hoping that's correct. Please, as always, correct me if I'm not.
Roast them.
I don't mind. If I'm not correct in a video, I want to know.
I want to get roasted.
I believe I've heard that said with the folks that I do watch.
Is that a leader?
That know way more about this than I ever will. But we just got this bottle, Trenton, in Arizona. I'm looking for it forever because the Blanco on the Arete is only like $25, and this is only like $32.
Okay.
So for a $30 Reposado tequila, I thought it was excellent for the price. I was very curious where this was going to come into play because this is the cheapest of the bunch.
Oh, okay.
If my memory serves me correctly, I think this one is around $50.
Okay.
But it's been a while for that one. But this one we just got is like $32, $34.
That's not too bad.
Right.
Good mixer.
Yeah. Excellent. Actually, it was in Arizona. We got it on our trip that we just took.
Did we?
Yeah.
Went it to Atlanta?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's where I found it. Yeah. All right, honey. What do we got next?
Second place for Trenton.
You going to do Trenton's? All right, let's do it.
B.
Okay.
Fortaleza.
Wow, good for you, bro.
I've heard a lot about Fortaleza. Yeah, it's fine.
Fortaleza. Listen to him. It's fine.
I mean, it is. I see a lot of people raving and all this and that about it. And truth be told, me talking about it as somebody who knows almost nothing about tequila, take it with a grain of salt. But and then obviously that one's first place. But I hear people lining up in line for this, just like bourbon now.
Yeah. Here's the deal. All right, I'm gonna and let's just do it now, honey. I'll get it right now. Trenton's first is Cascani's. This is like creme de la creme. All right, this bottle here is $100. Probably more than that. I apologize. A little more than that.
Oh, go figure.
So I had it for a little while down here. I try not to drink it quite a bit, but Cascani's is a fabulous name. But so is Fortaleza. Now, here's the deal. Now, if I would have lined up 1, 2, 3, 4, these two would have been in my top 2, just how you have them. Okay. I was very curious how these two were going to play out. This being the cheaper bottle, like I told you. Obviously, then I picked Fortaleza's first place, right?
Yes.
And that's something. I wouldn't have known that. I would have really thought this would have been number 1. A Trail Inn here in Valpo, right? Years ago, when we first started doing our channel. What is that, 4 years ago?
Yeah.
You can find the Blanco, the Reposado, and the Añejo Fortaleza on the shelf at all times.
I remember seeing this little
Every time you walk through the door.
Top.
That's before I knew anything about it. I knew nothing about it, and I let it sit there because I did not know. Then Tequila had their boom. Mm-hmm. Never once have I ever seen a Fortaleza ever in our area again. I never have. So these have been purchased on our travels and as we go around. The same thing with Cascani's. It's not around. It's not around here. We have none of the good tequilas around us. Trust me when I tell you.
So are these like the B-Tax of the tequila world?
This one, for sure. Well, yeah, both of them, really.
Okay.
So it's very curious. If I would have penciled it out, this is how I would have put it, excluding these two because I didn't know how that was going to go. But for me, then, this would have been it. And I'm surprised by that because this is lovely. But this one here, for me today, Fortaleza, man, wow. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. And excuse me just for 1 minute because this is relatively new to us. This one, Trenton, is 80 proof. And this one is 80 proof.
Oh, so they're not going to get you loaded.
So I think they're all 80 proof. And I want to be sure because I really didn't know. Wasn't 100% positive.
This would be better at cast strength.
There's some over there.
Oh, is there really?
Yeah, there's some. Right. There's some over there.
We'll give it a shot later.
Hey, if you enjoyed this, please let us know. We're not going to do this all the time. We're not going to do it all the time, but I love this. I love exploring new spirits, and finding what they're all about.
I want to do a rum blind here soon. I'd love to do a rum blind.
If you all want to see us do a few different things on occasion, of course, we'll always be a whiskey channel, but on occasion, please let us know. I love doing this, and I'm a little bit surprised by my final choices here. I really am, but I'm good with it.
I didn't know what to expect going in, but this was fun. Yeah, maybe we'll do rum next time or something a little bit different. And see how that goes.
Really nice. For those of you that do celebrate Cinco de Mayo, please do it responsibly and have a good time. Nope, I already said that. So now we got to go to. We'll see you next time.
Oh yeah,
right? That's what we do.
Yep.
Kyle needs to. He'll take care of that.
Yeah, he will.
He'll cut it out.
No, he won't. He'll put it in there.
Kyle,
put this in there.
All right, guys. See you next time right down here with Trent and me in the good old basement bourbon bar. Got that right.
Good job.
See you later.